Technically, in my head, there are too many questions and I'm jumping from here to there. What do you eat for breakfast?
Let me remember first. Are there really enough clients in Oman? Do they really use interior design services? And I can certainly say, yes, they do. Sale, and you just get it and you get 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 pieces. And then you bring it all home and you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with it? But what is mostly bothering me, I would say, is the rug that is out of the size, that is too small or too big, and the curtains that are either too short or too long. Well, the reality is 90% of the wardrobe is for a wife and 10% is for a husband. That's how it usually is.
That's the secret of happy parent. Do you believe that homes tell stories? I mean, not just of taste, but of culture, habits, and of the lives lived inside them? Hi, my name is Garima and welcome to another episode of Unscripted, where today we are discussing spaces we come home to. And why not? Ramadan is around the corner, meaning family gatherings, iftar happenings, and time to ask that question. What really makes a space work? Because come on, let's be honest. Here in Oman, you're in a rented house or you own the space. Either ways, you want to invest in things which are a reflection of your personality, right? It shouldn't look like you have just picked up random stuff from a sale and then you're figuring out how to put it all together. There needs to be some connect. Things needs to be functional. And if ever you've been bothered with questions like what should be the color of the curtains, what should be the color of the rug, what should be the size of the rug, and what are the things that we should really invest in? Well, this episode is just for you. Because today, in the conversation joining me is Katerina Kerdi, founder of Kate Kerdi Interiors, with an experience of over 500 projects across UAE, Europe, Asia, and Oman, of course. I think she is just the person who understands what really makes a difference when you consider culture, habits, lifestyle, all of it together, and then make those design decisions. So pretty excited for the conversation. You keep your notebook ready to make all your notes because I am. Welcome to the studio, Kate.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much.
Busy day?
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. Happy to be here.
No, the pleasure is all mine. And yes, I have it in mind that you got to rush at around 3 o'clock to go and pick up your daughter. You got to do your mom duties right there. And you had a very long meeting just before we started the podcast. So yes, I assume it was a busy start to the day, right?
Yes, it's true. As always.
But before I get into the whole conversation, I really want to ask that, what did you have for breakfast? How do you do that? Like, you're wearing so many hats and multiple roles. You're a mom, you're into interior designing, you are a founder of, you're just like not an interior designer, but the founder. Like, it's your company, you're the CEO, you're the one. And then you're also the founder of Fitbox. Technically, in my head, there are too many questions and I'm jumping from here to there. But let's start. What do you eat for breakfast?
Let me remember first. Normally, I prepare 2 breakfasts because first of all, I wake up my daughter at 6:30, so I have to prepare breakfast for her before she goes to school.
Right.
And then after drop off, which happens sometimes by me, sometimes by my husband, I have to also prepare a breakfast for us.
Right.
It's usually omelet that we have or scrambled eggs because I am a healthy person. I believe.
Really?
Well, I'm trying to be at least. So I believe having some, good protein for breakfast and healthy food is a good start for the day.
Right. I've seen all those videos of yours and I've seen those mind-blowing kicks of yours, and you into Fitbox and you into boxing and all of that. Especially the people who are into it would definitely know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to get on to that part of the conversation slightly later. Let's talk about the interior design. Let's talk about your experience and let's talk about the fact that you've lived and worked in Asia, Europe, UAE, now here in Oman. My favorite question, what is that Oman offers, or what is that you see here in Oman that you don't see anywhere else? So tell me both. Give me the challenges also and give me the good part as well.
Well, I would say there is no perfect place on this earth. There are always good and bad things everywhere.
Right.
But Oman definitely attracts to this hospitality, safety, people here, and just the way it makes you feel.
Right.
I came here 9 years back.
Wow.
I was invited to work as a design manager in one local company.
Okay.
Once I completed my contract, I started my own journey into interior design. I, opened my studio after some time. And right now, after 9 years of being here, it really feels like home. So even I travel for some time, I'm always looking forward to come back. And when, the airplane lands, you kind of feel that, I'm finally at home.
Oh, lovely. How lovely to hear that. But when we take interior designing as a profession, as an industry, as work here in Oman, how big is this here in Oman? In terms of projects and in terms of the scale of work that you do?
Well, this market is very much different from European market or UAE market. It's much smaller. It's not so advanced, I would say, but there are niche clients that I'm having, clients that appreciate what we offer. They appreciate the quality, the standards that I have. And I cannot complain about, not having clients or, there are always people that do appreciate what we do.
Yeah.
But what is not here maybe is a large scale of projects. In Europe or, in UAE, for example, you would find some really like huge restaurants, huge hotels, the scale is really big.
Of course.
So the scale here is a bit smaller.
Right.
Which is maybe not a bad thing, because having a larger scale projects, meaning having larger team,
right,
a lot of headaches, a lot of issues. So Oman, I believe, is a good place to start in any industry.
Right.
Because here you can start smaller, and then once you are ready and you reach a certain level, then you can, spread into other markets and show yourself there.
Wow, that's a lovely way of actually looking at it. Yeah. But when you said that it's not as advanced as the other places like Europe and our neighboring countries, what makes you say that?
Well, if we look at the history of Oman, the shopping malls, the infrastructure of the city is pretty much new. It's 40 years old, more or less.
Yeah.
So the country is still in a developing stage. It will reach there eventually, but it will take some time.
Right.
Where comparing to some European countries, they have a very, very long history, and a lot of things are happening there. So that's why the scale is also different. It's a different market. It's more intense and more things are happening.
Right. How open are people here in Oman for hiring an interior designer for their own home, for an office space, for a restaurant? Or do they just go by that, no, I'll decide and I'll design my own space? Like how often do you see people approaching you for their spaces?
There are actually a lot of people interested in interior design services. Of course, there are always people that will prefer to do it themselves due to budget restrictions or, their own preferences.
Yeah.
But sometimes people tell me, are there really enough clients in Oman? Do they really use interior design services? And I can certainly say, yes, they do.
Okay.
There are a lot of clients that are, looking into their homes with a different angle, and they want their homes to be not just nice. They want it to be functional. They want them to be beautiful.
Absolutely.
And they're open to idea of using interior design services.
Right. Do you think that people still till date consider hiring an interior designer or taking those services as an extra cost?
I believe, yes, a lot of people still need to be educated on the process of interior design. And it's not just to make your home look beautiful. Interior design services might cost, you might see it as a cost in the beginning, but it actually saves you a lot of money long term, because you avoid a lot of mistakes that will happen while you are purchasing furniture yourself.
Right.
A lot of people just go and, they go to the shop, they see a nice sofa, they get it, they come to their house, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the space, it doesn't fit the size, so they have to either live with it or they have to change it to something else. The same applies to rugs, accessories, a lot of different furniture. So you do end up having a lot of mistakes. The same thing is with fit out. When you try to make renovation yourself, you deal with wrong contractors, wrong workers, people that don't do their job properly, people that disappear. You end up having a lot of difficulties trying to communicate your vision to them.
Right.
But if you do have an interior designer, all this headache is basically taken by them.
Of course. So what is the right way of actually going about this process? Let's say there's a person who doesn't have a budget for an interior designer and still wants to do it all by himself. There are these people who will go because there's a sale that's announced. They will go and pick up all this stuff and then figure out later as to how are they going to fix it in their house. What advice would you give to such people? Like, what are the 3 things that they should keep in mind while they're designing their home their way, themselves?
Well, first of all, I would suggest to measure the space before buying anything.
Right.
Because as I said, what might end up happening is you just buy furniture that doesn't fit into your space.
Right.
So at least get a size of your room before you buy a sofa or a bed. That would really help.
Correct.
And also don't rush buying a lot of accessories, because I've seen a lot of people like getting, when you go to the store and you see something nice on sale and you just get it and you get 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 pieces. And then you bring it all home and you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with it? Like, I don't know where to put it, how to put it.
Yeah.
So don't rush with these things and don't overspend on accessories before you have your main large pieces of furniture into your house.
Right. So these are the things that you can actually keep in mind. Another thing I wanted to ask was that what is your process like when a client comes on board? How do you really understand that what would be personal for the client? What would be functional for the client? How many conversations do you really have with the client before you suggest a plan?
Well, the first question I ask to anyone who comes is what kind of service are they looking for? Because we normally offer 2 kinds of services. One would be a full scope renovation, which involves a lot of fit out work, changing the ceiling, or for example, we can build a house from scratch, like when they just finished their house, but they don't have interior done.
Okay.
So we can, take over this process. And then we also offer interior decoration, which works really well for people that have a house that is ready.
Okay.
Houses in Al Wouj, for example, or in any other area where they already have all the finished space. They have their walls painted, ceiling done, flooring is done, but they don't know how to fill up the space. Mm-hmm. So that's when we offer a service I call interior decoration. We fill it with furniture, accessories, lights, curtains, and we make it feel like home.
Right.
So we figure out that part first. And then once the client decides what exactly is that he needs, we then move to more specific personal questions about their preferences in terms of colors, style. We ask for a lot of reference pictures to understand what is it that the client wants. We understand what family he has, who lives in the house, what kind of lifestyle they have, because the interior has to be personal, of course, not just beautiful, but personal. So if somebody likes to watch movies, of course, it might be a good idea to have a nice comfy couch where they can watch the movies. If somebody likes to spend a lot of time with kids,
right,
we have to consider what kind of materials or fabrics we are using. So it's practical.
Right.
So we get into all these details. We have a specific design questionnaire for that. And only then we start the actual process.
Wow. I'm sure you must be aware of the fact that these days AI has also entered the space, okay? And you have a lot of these apps where you can just upload a picture of your living room or a bedroom or whichever area you want to technically redo. And then the AI will give you suggestions that this is how you can go about it. Mm-hmm. Has that really affected your work? Like, you think that AI is taking that job over, or you think that no, the real feel and the real thing will only come when the humans will actually do it?
No.
So how do you deal with that?
For me, AI will never replace interior designer, because interior design process is a relationship. It's a relationship between the client and the designer,
right,
which AI will never give you. It will never get personal. It will never get emotional. It will never give you that satisfaction as the real human can.
Right.
It can definitely give you a guidance.
Right.
It can definitely help to interior design studios like mine to make our process more advanced, to help us to do things quicker. It does help us a lot in a lot of ways.
Tell me more about that. How are you integrating AI in your daily job?
For example, if we prepare a 3D for the client, and let's say the client doesn't like a chair, for example. So before, we would need to go back to the 3D program, replace the chair, re-render it. But what we can do right now is we can, with the help of the AI, we can replace the chair with a different one within minutes. Or we can change the color within seconds. For example, if the client, again, likes, the whole concept, but he's thinking, how would it look with green cushions, just, as an example. So we can quickly change the color. We can quickly change the lighting, so it really saves a lot of time. But you just have to know how to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Are there any specific tools that you are incorporating in your business?
There are a lot of AIs these days.
Anything that you're using in particular?
There are a lot of tools, Nano Banana, ChatGPT, of course, everyone knows. And each one has its own input. I can't say that there is just one specific, unique AI that can do it all. No.
Yeah.
For a different purpose, there is a different AI tool.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you go about learning all of those? All by yourself, or you had someone to help you?
No, I've done actually a course when AI just got popular. I've got a research about AI. We did a lot of research. We're trying. We see what's available in the market.
Nice.
We use it. We see if it works for us, or if it doesn't, we find a replacement.
Wow. So technically, it's come as a blessing only for you in your
definitely
field.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of AI replacing us. That will never happen.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Like how you said that, it's only a human who can understand how to make a space feel personal, functional, and all of that. Who is really a difficult client for you? Have you had those clients where they've given you like, this is exactly what I need, and then they just don't budge? Or, are there more difficult clients? If you're okay answering that question.
Honestly, the client that will gives you exactly what he wants, that's an easy client. Mostly people don't know what they want. And that's when it gets difficult. People don't know what exactly is that they like. They don't know what exactly they want. And they start scrolling through Pinterest and finding some pictures and more or less we agree on a style, for example. And then during the process, they start going back to Pinterest again and they will start finding other pictures that are nice. Because obviously there are thousands and thousands of images and designs that are nice. Right. It's not just one. There are many beautiful designs and you can't fit all of them in your house. It's impossible. You have one house, but hundreds of different styles.
Of course.
So when you don't stick to what you initially selected and you start looking around too much, that's when it gets difficult. Because again, there are hundreds of beautiful chairs, but you can't put them all in your house. So we have to finalize one of them. We have to stop looking. So
the decisive client probably is a good client for you.
Yes. So when the client knows exactly what he wants, he knows the style, he knows the vibe that he wants, and he trusts interior designer, that's when it's really easy. And thankfully, most of our clients are like that.
And who's a dream client for you? Just like how you said, the one who's very clear in the head, technically. Yeah. Or is there more to it?
The dream client is the one who, first of all, trusts the interior designer. He's not trying to micromanage the process or do work for interior designer. And there's actually a joke on the internet, if I design and you watch, it's $500. If you design and I watch, that's $5,000 because... honestly, when the client is trying to design for you, that's when it gets difficult. And that's when I don't really understand it, because you come to an interior designer and you pay money for that service. So why would you try to do the job for him? Obviously, it has to be a teamwork.
Yeah, of course.
You have to be part of the process. You have to, participate actively. But then the interior designer has expertise about materials, about layout, about a lot of different things. So you have to trust.
Yeah. And I trust you completely. When I ask my next question to you, iftars, home gatherings, Ramadan, all of this is just around the corner, right? What are a few things that people can actually do to refresh their space and invite families?
Number one, I would declutter the space. That's the first thing I would do, because normally when the time goes, people start having a lot of, things that are not used, but they make the space look really cluttered.
Right.
So by just cleaning up the space, you'll feel much better about it. And then I would replace small things like cushions, maybe some throws, put some nice vases, nice little accessories, replace some rugs or curtains if you can, for example. That will not break the bank, but at the same time, it will really refresh the space.
How do you go about choosing the right color for your space when it comes to the upholstery and when it comes to all the other things inside the living room?
Well, there is no right or wrong color.
Yeah, but what are the few things that they can technically keep in mind before taking that decision that, okay, this is it? For a minimalist, these are the things that can be kept in mind. For a maximalist, these are the things that can be kept in mind.
First of all, you need to have, if you have a neutral base in your house, for example, it's more or less like, beigey, gray, then you can choose 2 colors that would be dominant colors. You should not add more than that. And then it could be another color that would be in like a little accessories and without overcrowding the space.
Right. Often people get really confused in deciding the color of the curtains and the rug and the couch. Let's just take these 3 things. When you're saying that there should be just like max of 2 colors, and then you can throw on a few accessories here and there, can you just help me more?
I have a little tip for that.
Sure.
Don't tell anyone.
No, it's only on the podcast. Nobody's going to watch. Yeah, okay, go for it.
So once you have your rug in place, your rug would have specific colors normally.
Right.
So you just pick a color from your rug and you use it on the curtains, and you use another color from the rug on the artwork, for example, and that's when it will really feel balanced. Just pick the colors from your rug. You don't have to invent anything. They're already in front of you.
Oh, lovely. And what if the rug is only white and the rest of the stuff has got color?
That's when it gets difficult. No, man, if the rug is white, then you still have, a space to add, because white is a neutral color. And
Right. Okay, when you say that declutter your house, and that'll be the biggest thing that people can do this Ramadan, that'll itself give a lot of energy and good, like technically refresh the space. How do you really define that, okay, this is the stuff that you can do away with? Because often people are attached to the stuff that they buy, right?
Yeah.
They always feel like that, maybe 2 years later, or maybe what if I just need this, stuff like that. So how do you take a call on that, okay, we can let this go?
Well, if you are really attached to something, I would suggest to maybe move it to another space.
Okay.
Where you still have, some free surface to put something. But I would try to really be honest with yourself. Look at everything you have, put it in front of you and say, this is what I really love and I really can't get rid of, and keep it next to your heart. But whatever is not that important to you, give it away, sell it, and just get rid of it. Because again, there's so many beautiful pieces out there and you can't have them all in your house.
Right. Okay, so we've discussed the rug, we've discussed the curtains, we've discussed the couch, all of that. What about the walls? How can you help people filling that space? Like there are 4 walls and there are big walls, and not every wall can have an art piece. But how is that they can go about?
Well, there are a lot of things you can do with walls. You can use a wallpaper, a wall mural, for example, which works especially well in the bedrooms. You can use mirrors. You can use, of course, art. You can use some sort of, sculptures.
Of course, depends on the personality also of who is really living in that house and that space. But if you had to help a person out who's into, like, technically wants a minimalist kind of thing in the house, but still has to get some nice artwork, art pieces, and kind of fill up the space, how do you go about if you're not into art, but still you have to have a frame there? So how do you go about that?
Well, again, look at what you already have in the space. Look at the colors you have. Look at the style that you have, and just pick something that looks balanced. That will not be like out of space, or maybe go opposite. Maybe choose something that will give it a really nice accent. Something that really stands out. Something that will be a focal point in the space
and becomes a topic of conversation as well, and the story behind that.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me another thing. Which is that space in the house that often people never invest much in, but is the most important part? Like they often ignore, but eventually it plays a very important role.
Well, I believe maybe it's the entrance of the house. Some people think that, enter inside and I go to a living room or bedroom. But no, I believe the entrance of the house is kind of a face of the house. That's the first thing you see when you enter. That's what is giving you the vibe and the overall feeling. So investing into a really nice console, a beautiful mirror, and making a space that is also functional, that allows you to store your things or, sit to wear your shoes. That's really important.
Yeah. Do you think people give enough and more importance to storage in the house?
Most of the clients we have are actually having issue with storage. It's never enough. When everybody's just having so much stuff. And it's literally, I think 80% of clients just come and say, I have so many things. Can you just help me to create more storage? I'm like, we'll try, but we are limited to walls
that we have.
Specific height. So of course, there are a lot of nice solutions that are functional. There are a lot of, multifunctional storages, for example, and in our projects, we do customize 80% of furniture. So when we plan a wardrobe, we are very careful of, what shelves are inside, what kind of drawers, what the client is going to store there. We think about the height, specific size to make sure that your shoes fit. Whatever you're planning to store, that the space serves that purpose.
Have you ever had clients like they have so many things in their mind? Like probably they'll come to you and they'll say that, we host a lot of people, or we have family coming over, or you can say that, no, we watch a lot of movies. And when you sit down and talk to them, it's actually happening once a year or twice a year at the max. But they invest so much into these things where their everyday life and the functionality gets ignored in the process. Have you had incidents or cases like that?
To be honest, not really.
Yeah?
No.
But don't you feel that people actually give a lot of importance to incidents or to things that are happening not very often in the house? Probably they'll invite people only for Ramadan or this one, but they'll have everything dedicated to that for the entire year.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. They're not thinking that much about their own comfort, their own life in the house that is happening on a daily basis. And they prefer impressing somebody else, which is happening 2-3 times a year, as you said.
So what would you like to tell them, like how to keep the functionality first in mind and then everything else?
I think you could create spaces that can serve both purposes. It can serve your family on a daily basis, and it can also transform into a nice festive space that can accommodate all your guests.
Right.
Things like extendable dining table, for example, that fit your family on in normal days, and then can extend into when friends and family come.
Yeah, that's quite a tip. That's actually quite interesting. What would you suggest to people who have children at home, which are like 5 to 6 of them at home, versus to nuclear families? Like, what is the main difference that you see?
I would suggest to lock them in the playroom. Joking.
That smile said it all. The little smirk that came before that. But then, you have spaces where you have... there are families who have kids at home, and then there are families who have elderly people at home. So what are the things that they can actually keep in mind to make the place very functional for them? Let's start with the kids.
Well, I think it's very important to have a dedicated space for kids in the house so they can, play there and spend their time. Right. And it's also important to think about the type of materials you're using. For example, there are a lot of waterproof fabrics, washable fabrics. You don't have to avoid beige sofa just because you have kids. But you can think about the type of fabric that is on that sofa so that in case it gets stained, you can easily clean it. You can think about the shape of the furniture. Like you can avoid sharp corners. You can use tables that are more round. And that's what will make it more kids-friendly.
Of course, of course. How do you go about looking for such materials here in Oman? Do you find them easily?
No, that's why, as I said, we customize 80% of our furniture because I don't want to accept just whatever is available.
Right.
We have a specific vision and we always have, high standards. So that's why we're left without a choice. We have to customize furniture that we see in the space.
Yeah, because even I've seen people are actually scared to have anything that's white. No matter how good it is and it looks really nice and it fits the space like perfectly. But if they have kids at home or if they have a lot of people coming over, they often avoid that color. But at times, I mean, like, white looks beautiful when you have it in the living area, right? Tips and tricks there. How can you maintain that?
Well, actually, black will look even worse with kids because on a black you can see more stains than on a white. But again, you can think about the materials that are used and just make sure that they're washable and easier to maintain.
Right. What works the best here in Oman? In terms of materials, what is that stays longer here than anywhere else? Because of course, when we talk about the climate.
Yeah, well, we definitely do use a lot of marble. I'm personally a big fan of Omani marble, and I have my collection of marble furniture. It's called Katerina Kerdi, the brand. We make custom marble tables, wall murals, handmade candles. So when it comes to marble, it really cools down the space. And I'm sure you know, in Oman, most of the houses, they have or marble or tiles on the floor for that particular reason, just because it's hot. So using marble is one of the best materials in the market that can really cool down the house and is really, really practical.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's somebody who's like, if they own the space here. But if someone who's here in a rented apartment, what are the things that you would suggest them? Keeping the climate in mind, things to avoid and things that they can actually incorporate.
Well, I would avoid using these cheap materials like, the chipboard and furniture that you might find here in some stores that is like very inexpensive, but it doesn't stay for long. Again, you might feel like it's a saving to buy a cheap table, but then if you think long term, and I believe even you're an expat here, you still come for 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever years, and you need this furniture to last. So I'd rather buy something a little more expensive that would stay with you longer than getting a piece that you need to replace in 6 months.
Yeah. Talking about a dining table, let's say that we are going out and we are choosing a dining table, an 8-seater. What are the things that we should keep in mind? Is there a particular material that you would recommend? Is there something in terms of the chairs that they should keep in mind? Is there something that in terms of the how it should be shaped, stuff like that? What's your personal favorite?
Well, I'm personally a fan of tables that have porcelain tops because they're easy to maintain. They're easy to wipe, which I cannot say about marble. Marble is beautiful, but it needs maintenance. And if you do drop something on it and you don't clean it immediately, sometimes it can get stained. So it's a bit harder to maintain.
Right.
And when it comes to dining chairs, if you have kids, again, I would suggest not to take fabric chairs. I would suggest to use leather instead, for example. That is easy to wipe and clean if needed.
Any tips and tricks for the kitchen area? I'm sure that you have many. The storage or for how functional it can be. Because nowadays I also see this concept of open kitchens coming into the picture. Like, how functional is that here in Oman?
It's very common. Well, as you know, a lot of houses in Oman are very big.
Right.
So a lot of people can have a dirty kitchen, which is used for cooking. And then they have a show kitchen that is used mostly for, for the beauty of it.
Right.
So we design a lot of show kitchens that will not involve a lot of cooking. It's mostly there to look beautiful, okay, to have breakfast, to have your guests over, to socialize. So you can, play a bit more with design there. You can use more interesting materials, and you don't have to think that much about the functionality of it because all the cooking is happening at the back.
Yeah. But is there a concept like a dirty kitchen and a
a lot. Show kitchens. Almost all our villa projects, they all have a dirty kitchen and a show kitchen.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So that concept does exist, right?
A lot.
Oh, so all the Instagram pictures that we see are actually from the show kitchen, but the real stuff is happening somewhere else.
Exactly, which is a pretty basic, kitchen just for cooking and to serve the purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. How about the Majlis area here? Because I feel that would be really a unique part here, especially in Oman. So if you had to give some advice or tips and tricks how to design or how to make that functional, what would you say?
Majlis is unique to this region, to Oman. I believe most of the people forget about having it comfortable. So it has the seats and the spaciousness that it needs, but very often it doesn't have a comfort. So I would suggest to maybe think about it a bit more and use sofas that are more comfortable, the tables that can really serve your guests and tables that can be movable, for example. So you can use it, for different occasions.
Okay, if you had to pick out top 3 mistakes that most of the homeowners make today while going about the whole project or while designing their house, what do you think that are the mistakes that they're making?
Number 1 would be underestimating the budget. Most of the people do that. They set very unrealistic expectations when it comes to budget. Number 2 would be not trusting their designer, not trusting the process. And number 3, setting unrealistic expectations for the timeline as well, because oftentimes people come and say, like, can I have my house ready in a week? Which is impossible. Good things need time. So once you start that process, you have to be ready to invest your time and your money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And something that you will advise everyone, or let's say there's someone who is now packing up their old house and moving into a new one. What are the things that they should keep in mind? Of course, I know the declutter comes first.
Yes.
Please let go of all the things that you're not using or haven't used for at least 3 months. Please understand that you'll not be using it in the new house as well.
Exactly, because they just end up moving with all this stuff to a new space, but it's still cluttered. It still doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
So I would definitely consider replacing and maybe some big pieces, especially if you have a sofa or a bed that is with you for a very long time. I would consider, refreshing and replacing, and of course getting rid of all the old little things, like accessories and things that you are not using. For me, I have my policy of I love to declutter. I do it literally like every month.
Okay.
And if I don't use something for a year, I just get rid of it. If I did not use it for a year, I will not use it in the future.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a nice way of actually looking at it. How about you helping us out on the dressing area? Like, I don't think so. A lot of people take that also seriously, but it's like when you have a couple getting ready with the kids, then that space becomes very important, right? So what are the tips and tricks that you can give to make that area functional?
Well, the reality is 90% of the wardrobe is for a wife and 10% is for a husband. That's how it usually is.
That's the secret of happy parents.
And I'm not joking. The husband literally gets, a corner in the dressing room, and the rest is for a wife because she has so many shoes, bags, and things.
Of course, our lives they're not as simple as they look. But something that you can actually recommend to make that particular area functional in terms of lights, in terms of how the dressing table itself looks like.
Well, if you build your wardrobe from scratch, of course, you need to think about it from there. You need to create a small dressing space. You need to make sure it fits all the things that you have. You have a section for bags, for shoes, for abayas, for your clothes. And it really serves you as who you are.
Right.
Because we all have different things. We all have different personalities and different lifestyle.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, it comes down to your personality. How important is the lighting in the house? Like, I've often had these, there've been proper fights that I have witnessed where there have been heated arguments and conversations where the couple is not able to decide between yellow lights or white lights, warm lights or that light. So yeah, coming on to that, how important is that and how can you really help people decide onto that?
When it comes to houses, the lights that used in the houses are always warm.
Right.
You don't use cold blue lights at home. It just doesn't make the home look cozy.
Yeah.
But if you have a space that already has lights, which is like a rented house, for example, you can't do much. You can't add more spotlights. What you can do is you can add additional decorative lights, such as floor lamps, table lamps, anything that will create a different ambience for the evening or will just add extra light that you need.
So you would recommend that, okay, obviously warm lights are any day better than the white lights, right there?
Definitely, yes. For home, it's just warm lights.
Do you think it's very important to have a particular area or space in your house that's dedicated to your work as well? Because often people feel, especially here in Oman, the culture of work from home is still not very popular.
Yeah.
Like people still, generally work from their offices only. But then there are times when they open up the laptop and they work on it. And then that goes on for like hours together. And at times that happens from the bed, at times that happens from the couch, at times that happens from the dining table. Do you recommend that people should have a dedicated area in their house, even if you're not working from home every day, but to a work desk? And if yes, what are the things that they can keep in mind to make that space or that little area nice and functional?
Well, I believe if you ever work from home, it's always good to have your dedicated workspace, but definitely not in the bedroom, as some people do. In my opinion, bedroom has to be a space for, for sleep, for rest, but not a space where you work. So if your space allows, you can have either separate office, or you can have it somewhere in the living room, or, a guest room, for example. And of course, it has to be functional for you,
Right.
for your purpose. So if you work in a computer a lot, then you have to make sure your chair is comfortable. You have to make sure you can sit there for hours. And you have to make sure to lock the room so your family members don't come in and disturb you.
That's a very important part to keep in mind. Yeah.
But if you can avoid working from home that much, is always great, because it always creates extra tension between family members. And, when you end up working too much from home, and first of all, the family members always disturb and distract you.
Yeah.
And then, having your work outside of your house, I believe, is always a better option.
I somehow feel that came straight from the heart, like you were visualizing yourself working from home as to what are the challenges that you face while you work from home, but the things that can be kept in mind.
Yeah, I did. I did work from home, and I still do sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, I have my daughter, so sometimes she would have her piano class at home, and then I can do some work at the same time. But I don't have a dedicated workspace in my home, because I have office, so I prefer to take all my work from home as much as I can.
Right, of course. Well, talking about your daughter, talking about working from home, I really want to ask that question. How did that shift happen? Was it easy for you to take the call of moving out from a usual corporate life where you were working as an interior designer to setting up your own space? Like, where did you find that courage from? And take me through that.
Well, it wasn't easy, but it was going step by step. And honestly, my husband gave me a good push into opening my own office, because I was hesitant.
Right.
Like I knew there should be a next step. I was having my team already. I was working and having that business, but I did not have enough courage to actually have my own space. So he kind of gave me a push. Thanks to him for that. And I'm really happy, I did it that time, and we continue growing until now.
Yeah. So you basically you found that courage from him, and he gave you all the confidence.
He gave me that final push. Sometimes you want to do something, but you just need someone who will give you a little bit of push just to make that step.
Well, you're pretty active on your social media as well. You've got decent followers. In fact, not just decent, you've got great followers and good content going out there. In today's time, how do you think and feel that this really affects your work as well, as to how active are you on socials, no matter which industry you're coming from, but being present on all the platforms and your work, how does that affect the work?
Well, content creation, I believe, is a job.
Right.
It's not something that is just a side hustle, a fun. It requires a lot of work, a lot of time. And of course, I wouldn't be able to do it without my team. I have my assistant, my team who helps you to create content, to edit, to post, to take care of my social media. I'm still the main person who is there, but my team helps me a lot. Oftentimes people ask me, how do you manage it all? You have your business, you're a content creator, mom, a co-founder of the gym. That's how I delegate. Without my people, I would not be able to do it all.
So how much of business do you get from your social media versus word of mouth versus you pitching the clients directly?
Actually, a lot. I would say around 60% of clients come from social media, and around 40% is a word of mouth. As you know, Oman is a market where, the best marketing is word of mouth marketing. So once you do a good job once, you will certainly be recommended to friends, family, and everyone else.
Yeah. Which has been your favorite project here in Oman?
I love all the projects that we do.
If particularly that you would kind of, you often use an example to the others that this is what we did or stuff like that. Something that you really had a blast doing.
We recently completed a project for Yanair, which is going to be in Sultan Haytham City. It's a very big project. And we've done a show apartment for the Sky Palaces of that project. Why it was special to me, because we kind of did something different. It wasn't neutral. It wasn't usual style that we do. It was a very interesting project to work with. We had to even do some customized fabrics. We had to come up with a lot of solutions, and it ended up being really, really nice and getting a lot of really great comments.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. How long did it take for you for the entire process?
It took around 8 months, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. We were really invested in there.
Yeah, we started completely from scratch. It was just bare concrete. Absolutely nothing was there. No ACs, no flooring, nothing. So we built it from scratch. That's why it took time.
That's lovely.
It took time to build it, to design it, to prepare all the technical documentation, to customize all the furniture. There we literally had around 99% of furniture custom.
Wow.
Only one chair was ready-made. Everything else we had it customized. Yeah.
Wow. Well, can we now touch upon a little bit on the Fitbox, especially the whole press conference that did the rounds? It was quite a talk of the town. Please tell me honestly, no, like I said, that nobody's watching this, but was that really staged?
No, it wasn't. It was actually real, and even I got scared for a moment.
Yeah, because that was real angst in both of them. And I really thought that's probably because, to promote the event and stuff like that. But when he threw the table, I was like, dude, this is staged or this is not. But
no,
what was it?
Real?
You got to be honest there.
No, this was real. Yeah, even people got a bit scared for a second, but it was all fine.
Yeah. How did the event go?
It went amazing. Actually, exceeded all our expectations.
Right.
Basically, FFC is a Fitbox fighting championship.
Right.
The force behind it is Fitbox Gym, a boxing club that we have, and it was created by my husband as a platform to develop local talents, to develop the sports in Oman. And this was the 5th event so far, and I believe it went very successful. The sports becomes really popular. We get a lot of support.
Lovely.
The tickets were all sold out before event even started. So I'm just looking forward for, what the next.
Wow. So that's the other side of you, right? You into kickboxing, you into coming up with your own brand like Fitbox, which is so different from interior designing. How did that happen, and how did you take a call and decide that Oman is a good market for it?
Well, my husband is a professional fighter, a coach, and that's how I ended up being in this field. So I kind of helped him at the beginning to develop this business, and it just keep growing day by day, and we reached where we reached. Right?
Yeah. And what made you? Of course, your husband was is into the same field, but he must have seen something in the market as well. It's not just your own passion.
Well, we honestly never looked at it as a business, as a way of just making money. It started out of passion, He loved it, I loved it, and we just started from there. And we really love. He loves what he's doing, and I believe it's very important. I believe you should never start anything out of just making money.
Yeah.
You should not look at anything as a source of money. You should look at it as something that you love to do.
Right.
And if you love to do it and you keep doing it, money will come eventually.
Yeah.
And it was a challenging field, honestly, because if you look at 5 years back, martial arts events were not even allowed in Oman. It wasn't even happening here. But again, day by day, there was one branch first, and then the second gym opened, and then my husband started doing competitions slowly, and it's getting really successful now. It's getting a lot of response. We have really, great companies and banks supporting us in this journey. And it's
that itself talks for the brand and the work that you are actually doing that there as well. So if you had to choose between the two,
oh, that's a tough question.
Fitbox or Katerina, like the interiors. So where is your heart and where is your mind?
Well, my best friend actually asked me recently, since the events are going so well and you're getting so good response.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shipped.
Yeah,
I said,
but you have Kate Kerdi Interiors and you have Fitbox. But if you have to choose between the two, so then yeah.
If I have to choose, I think I will still stay with interior design because that's something I really love to do. That's something that is part of me. And even though, of course, I can get tired sometimes and I need a break, which is normal, but I will always come back there because that's just my passion.
Yeah. Oh, wow, lovely. Well, coming back to the interiors and talking about the interior designing, often in the conversation you mentioned about the fact that you believe in custom designs and custom-made furniture. What are the things that they should keep in mind in terms of the material, in terms of the functionality, in terms of even if you can recommend someone where they can go and get the thing done?
Well, rule number one, I don't share my sources. Because it takes so much time, so much effort, so much blood and sweat to find good people.
Tell me about it.
And that's the only way. You have to test, you have to try. You have to fall, you have to stand up, you have to make mistakes, lose money. And then once you get there after, 2-3 years, somebody comes and says, can you share with me a number? I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
It took me so much time and effort to get there.
Yeah.
Like I can help you out. Do something, but I cannot
share resources. Yeah. The next thing you know that you're approaching the person directly and then what am I here for?
It's not easy to find good people.
Of course.
In actually any market,
Yeah.
The only way is to try. And then once you finally find that company, that supplier that you want to work with, stick to them. And
So if you're not into it professionally, the best way of doing it is hire a professional for it because they have gone through all of it and they have finally found a person who can just do it right for you. Right?
Yeah, again, it might seem like you're paying extra, but no, you are avoiding so many mistakes.
Yeah.
So many issues in the process. Like when you give it to somebody who knows what to do.
Yeah.
Even though you pay a bit more, but trust me, you'll feel much better about it and you'll just have something that you'll be happy with.
Yeah. An advice or something that you'd like to say, all the females watching this conversation today or listening to it, because you have come a long way, like not just into interior designing, but you got into Fitbox as well. That department also is doing so well. You're a great mom as well, because I know how seriously you take that thing as well. So what would you like to say to all the people or all the girls listening to you right
now? I would say find your balance and don't limit yourself thinking that you can just be a mom or you can just be an entrepreneur. No, you can do it all. You can be everywhere. You can do it. You can do it, but you just have to find that balance, which takes time. There will be moments in life that you will be working too much. There will be moments when, you'll be a mom too much. You'll have to be staying at home and you might feel like you're not socializing enough. You are not doing enough. You're not making enough money, but it's all temporary. You will reach the point when you will find a balance in life and you will say, now I feel good. I have time for myself. I have time for my family. I have time for my business. I have time to do it all. And I believe after so many years, I finally reached that balance and I know where it is. I know when I have to slow down. I know when I have to, go faster.
Yeah.
And I believe, again, it takes time to reach there.
What is your motivation? Like, I'm sure, like how you said that money, definitely no. But what is that keeps you going every single day? Because often people find themselves that even if they are in a corporate job, they feel like, what am I doing? So how do you answer that question? What is your motivation?
I was always a very hardworking person. I'm working since I'm 14 and I never stopped. Yes.
Wow.
I just love working. And before I had...
What were you doing at 14?
I was a dancing teacher. I went to dancing since I was 5 to 20. I was a coach as well.
Okay.
I was part of many competitions. So we got like, medals, awards. So my first job was a dancing coach.
Which I know. Huh?
Yes.
Wow.
So I always loved working, and before I had family and kids, I could work from like morning to late night. I was fine with that. I never liked partying or doing all that kind of stuff. I love working. I love improving myself. I love doing things for people and for myself.
Yeah. So it's you.
I think it's just my personality. Yeah, I believe.
Wow. Okay. So I know that what you eat for breakfast. I know what gives you the push. How easy was the transition for you? Yeah, I'm sure that it must have come with its own set of challenges. Because earlier when somebody else was taking all those decisions, all you had to worry about the salary coming on time and you doing your work. But now you have to take the call on behalf of a lot of people. You have a full set team. So 2 questions. What is that one thing that you will never delegate? And you are still not confident that, no, this is the department that I will only do it. And the other question that I'd like to ask is that how different is it when you take the responsibility of the entire team versus you just doing your own work?
One thing I will not delegate is the vision. I will always be the one who has a vision of like where the company will go, where the business will go, where the brand will go. And I will always be the force that will guide my team on, where we are moving. And of course, we have to move all in one direction.
Right.
And I believe what really changed my mindset from an employee to a CEO is the ability to love problems. Being an entrepreneur, you have to love problems. You have to love solving problems. You don't have to look at them as like, oh my God, this happened again. What am I going to do? No. Being an entrepreneur means you'll have issues every single day, from small ones to big ones. And you have to take them as a challenge and you have to accept them and you have to solve them and keep moving to the next problem, to the next problem. And that's when you'll actually grow and reach a higher level.
Wow. Something that you're extremely proud of when you look back at your journey.
Oh, okay. I think I'm proud of being a hardworking and responsible person. And I am the kind of person that keeps the word. If I say something, I have to do it. I don't...
You're a woman of your words.
Yes, I don't like people that don't keep their words, and I can't deal with this kind of people.
Of course, yeah.
So if I put my mind into something and I share it, I have to do it. No matter what, I have to do it.
Yeah, because that's how you build the trust then. And especially in your field, you have to have that rapport with your client as well. That if you've committed, you will make sure that, yes, it'll be delivered.
Yeah, even it involves financial losses from my side. But I know like I was committed to do something. Like I promised a certain quality to the client, which for some reason wasn't delivered, and it will include me redoing something. It will involve any financial losses. I will still do it just because I'm committed to what I promised.
Fair enough. I'd like to ask you another personal question. Are you one of those who walks into someone's house and then reads the entire house and then kind of gets to know the personality of the people living in them?
Well, I am that kind of a person. I always
blame the job for it.
Yes. And sometimes I'm not happy about it, but I can't help it.
Yeah.
So I notice every little thing in the house, but what is mostly bothering me, I would say, is the rug that is out of the size, that is too small or too big, and the curtains that are either too short or too long. So these are...
What's the correct measurement for that? Let's start with the rug. Let's say if this is your table, so how big the rug should be? It should go underneath your sofa. How big it should be? Cover the whole space or no?
When it comes to a living room rug, for example, you should have at least the front legs of your furniture sitting on the rug.
Okay.
When it comes to the dining table, you have to make sure that when you push the chair back, your chair still sits, all 4 legs of your chair are still sitting on the rug.
What about the ones that are underneath the bed?
It also depends on the size of the bed.
Okay.
But normally the best sizes for like a queen or a king size bed would be like 2 to 3 meter rugs. Okay. So also you can have your side tables either sitting on the rug, or you can have your rug starting right where the side tables end.
All right. So that's the first thing that you notice. What is the second thing that you notice when you walk into a space?
It's the curtains, the length of the curtains. A lot of people have them either too short or...
What is too short?
Too short is more than 1 centimeter from the floor, because the standard clearance is 1 centimeter. That's when it looks nice and, it's blocking the light properly. But when you have them 3, 4, 5 centimeter, it just looks awkward.
Yeah. So that's the second thing. And what's the last thing that you notice?
The last thing that I notice is probably the lighting, because it's very essential to have the right amount of lights, the variety of lighting. You can't just have spotlights in the house, and that's it. You need to be able to create a different ambience for evening, for special occasions. So you need to have that variety of different types of lights.
And I think a house that has enough and more sunlight coming into the house, that itself just kind of elevates the space, correct? Especially, I think we are blessed that way to be here in Oman, where you have so much of sunlight throughout the year. But not a lot of apartments or villas actually take advantage of that, I feel.
Yes, we are very, very blessed to have sun. And that's one of the things that I love about Oman, that we just get to see sun every single day, which we don't get in the country where I'm from. I'm from Latvia, and we have so many cloudy days, like literally 70 days of the year are cloudy. Whoa. People don't get to see sun.
Oh, now I know how much you love Oman for that, right?
Yes. Every morning I wake up, I open the curtains, I'm like, just to feel the sunny days.
Yeah.
It just sets you into a completely different mood.
Yeah. We often just don't realize how blessed we are that way. At times it can get really hot, but to have the sun throughout the year, I think it's quite a blessing as well.
It is.
Yeah. So what, according to you, is a very nice or a perfectly designed living room? Like, this would be the ideal one for you, keeping aside those very particular aesthetics.
I think it's the living room that is kind of multifunctional. It's a living room that can allow you to watch TV with your family, for example, if you don't have separate living rooms, because some houses, they have multiple living rooms. They have like a TV room, they have a family room or a room for guests. So if the space allows to have different spaces, fine, you can design each one for its purpose. But if you just have one, then it needs to be multifunctional. You need to be able to chill there with a family, watch a movie, or host your guests. So you can have tables that are movable, for example. You can have a TV wall that is that has an option like to hide the TV, for example, with the panels. So that's something that is good.
And what about a coffee table? What are the things that should go on that?
A coffee table is mostly used for accessories. Yeah, it's a service for me to put really nice accessories.
No TV remotes going there, nothing of that sort.
Like, remote is there, it has to go like in a nice box and be nicely hidden.
Fair enough, I got that also. Tell me another thing. So you work for these like big budget projects, and where the ticket size is like decent, okay? When I say decent, the figures are like really big, right? So 2 questions there. Has there ever been a case where the person has told you that you are too expensive or the price is too high? How do you deal with that? And the second one would be that what makes a person really trust in you when they're trusting you with such a big budget? What do you think is your USP?
Well, some people do say that our services are expensive, but the first question I ask is it the price that you're looking for? Is it just the price that you're looking for, or you have other things that you're looking for? Trust, quality, process, communication. So if the answer is just the price, it's just not my client. But if it's not only the price, then after having a conversation with a client and explaining what exactly is that he gets for that cost, they usually understand and they accept it.
Absolutely, right. So this is the one part. So the other part, and what do you think is your USP where people trust you for such big budgets?
First of all, I have good name in the market, and I believe I am a trustworthy person, and I really do care about our reputation, the quality offer. Again, we do make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes, but I always do my best to fix them.
Yeah.
And because we have a lot of happy clients that recommend us to their friends and family, there is already, a trust, a good base that we have. And I always try to maintain it during the process.
How did you develop your taste in interior designing? Like, was it instinct or you learned? Why I'm asking is this, that can people really develop their taste, or it just comes straight from the instinct?
They can definitely develop. Well, I don't have a degree in interior design. I am a self-taught interior designer. I learned everything myself. I started with videos, books. I never had a specific degree. Nobody taught me that. It all started out of passion, and I just kept learning and looking at beautiful things, looking at beautiful pictures. Yeah. And that's when, I reached a certain level.
Wow.
And I did go to university for that particular degree at some point, but then most of the things they were teaching, I already knew because I was already practicing interior design for a few years. And then I just said, just go back to your practice. Don't waste your time, your money on degree. And I believe having a degree is a good thing, but it's not a guarantee for a successful business or a successful career.
Yeah,
it's all on you, on how much you love what you are doing and how passionate you are and how much work are you ready to put in.
Yeah. If there were ever 3 things that you would pick out of Oman and recommend to your clients in Europe, Asia, or the other countries, what would you recommend that, you should just make sure that you bring this thing from Oman?
Well, of course, it's bahur.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it suddenly just refreshes your whole house, right?
Yes, which is also quite unique to the culture.
Right.
And then it's dates. I always bring a lot of dates from Oman whenever I go to my country.
Yeah.
And
anything to do with the interiors or anything to do with something that you specifically find here in Oman?
Maybe
a lot of sunlight.
A lot of sun. Oh, yes. If I could put that sunlight in a jar, I would love to bring it as a gift. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, with that, it brings me to the rapid fire. Now, shall we? Are you ready with those quick answers?
I am.
I have quite a few questions this time because, let's find out who Katerina Kerdi is. Is Katerina a minimalist or maximalist?
Minimalist.
Neutral palette or bold colors?
It's actually 50-50 right now.
Statement sofa or statement lighting?
Statement sofa.
Marble or wood?
Marble.
Open shelves or closed storage?
Closed storage.
Curtains or blinds?
Curtains.
Trend you love right now?
I love burgundy color. I'm in love with it for the 2nd year now.
I see that on your nails. Yes. Okay. Most underrated room in a house?
It's probably laundry.
We didn't talk about that. Yes. Yeah, correct. Most over-decorated space in homes today?
The living room.
One item every home should invest in?
A good quality sofa.
One thing people waste money on?
A lot of accessories and decorations that don't fit the space.
And that's what caters the whole space, right? Dream city in the world to design a home in?
It would be New York.
Ooh, a dream person you want to design a home for?
Some celebrity, maybe.
All right. Describe your design style in 3 words.
It's harmonious, balanced, and stylish.
Shoes inside the house or strictly outside?
Outside.
Okay. All white bedding or colorful bed sheets?
I love white bedding.
Of course. More cushions or remove all this before guests come?
More cushions.
Okay. Matching furniture sets or mix and match pieces?
Never matching furniture sets. Just avoid them at all times.
Yeah, okay. Warm yellow lighting or bright white lighting?
Warm yellow.
Okay. Now this one is for Ramadan specific. And I really want to know what should we do to just elevate the house if we've just got 1 week now before the guests come over. Soft lantern lighting or fairy lights all over the house?
Soft lantern lighting.
For an iftar setup, formal dining table or cozy floor seating?
Formal dining table.
Okay. Ramadan decor, elegant neutrals or rich festive colors?
Rich festive.
Okay. Decorate just the dining area or give the whole house a festive touch?
The whole house.
Wow. Fresh flowers for Eid or traditional decor accents you reuse every year?
Fresh.
Any day. One grand Eid table setup or simple warm hosting style?
Simple, warm hosting style.
Open kitchen chaos during gatherings or everything hidden behind those closed doors? Dirty kitchen.
Everything hidden.
Okay. Oud and bakhur at home or light fresh fragrance for guests?
Light, fresh fragrance.
Okay. Extra seating for guests or more space for food display?
Extra seating.
Okay. Ramadan Eid decor you bring out every year or new theme every time?
New theme every time. I don't like the same. I don't even wear the same clothes every day.
Yeah. And if you had to recommend 2 themes for Ramadan iftar, what is something that they can do?
It could be something more festive and luxurious with like golden elements, for example. Or it could be something more neutral that works for, every day. And no matter if you have guests coming over or not, you still feel the house is festive.
Perfect. Wow. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and I actually picked up and learned so much. You won't believe there were so many moments in the conversation when I went back to my own house and I was just kind of seeing my visual. I thought, is the rug size that I'm okay there? The curtains are just fine. Oh, that color looks okay. Oh, the lighting, thank God, is yellow. But yeah, a lot to learn there, and what a fantastic story that you have. Quite an inspiration, I'd say. It was a pleasure having you here in the studio, Kate. And Ramadan Kareem to you. Eid Mubarak to you. Enjoy and take the sun all in. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us in the conversation. Yeah. You take good care of yourself. And yes, get your home ready for Ramadan. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take good care of yourself.